Hi, Lisa Peterson from Wealth Clinic here, and today we're talking about getting paid what you're worth. Now, by now you've probably taken the chakra quiz that indicated that your heart chakra may be out of balance. You can check and see if this is true for you. If you notice that you have feelings of not being fully appreciated, compensated for all that you do in the world. Maybe you give a lot and you don't receive as much back in return. Now, knowing how this fits with money is really helpful because what I've seen is this translates to not actually being paid what you're worth, not being able to charge it, and actually not maybe being able to, receive it. So it's very, very powerful work to realize if this is something that's happening for you. Now, you know that you're here for some really big stuff. All of my clients, myself, we know that we have a message to share with the world. We know that we're deeply passionate about the work that we're doing, or at least we're working towards creating something that we're passionate about. But if we can't reach a place where we're very well paid for the work that we're doing, it's going to be frustrating. We're not going to be at our best. And that gets old, right? After a while. Now, there may be a couple ways that this is showing up in your life. In the case of an underactive heart chakra, this is where we find ourselves not being able to be compensated in the way that we want, not being able to speak and tell people, this is what I need you to pay. And then at the flip side, when we finally perhaps work up the courage to do that, then they don't go with us. They say, sorry, that's too much money. So that's one way to see the underactive. In the overactive, we may have this sense that we need to charge a lot of money. We go out and we find coaches that push us constantly. You need to charge more. You need to charge more, even though it's not in balance with who we are. So we're constantly raising our rates. We're constantly trying to get people to pay us more. We're asking for more money. And after a while, we start to notice that there's some inauthenticity to it. We're doing it because we should do it rather than that's how we really feel we are ready to be compensated at that level. So there's this middle path between the two extremes that's really helpful to notice. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna hear from Teresa, one of my clients who is participating in the Infinite Abundance program, and some of her experiences with the heart chakra and how that translates into her business.
Feelings, I was completely lost financially, and basically I knew that I'd been freelance for about 20 years, and I knew that if I was to begin a business, I couldn't think like a freelancer anymore. I had to think like I was a business. And because of that, I knew that I had to do something about the way I was running my finances. So what hooked me in was when I think there was a meditation where you brought in the chakras, and I thought, oh, this is very different. And that's what made me listen, because I had just started working on my chakras myself. So, yeah.
One of the things I think is helpful for everybody to hear and think about, because the idea is helping people who watch this to identify with themselves and the things they're challenged with, and whether or not this was going to even help them. So here we're talking about the heart chakra, because that was what later you found out. At first you didn't know, but later you found out that this was something. And so if we even talk specifically to the heart chakra, was there something going on the outside that you now see was outside of your vision?
I knew, because I'd been working a lot on my personal development over the past, especially 3 years previous to last year. I knew that there was still something that was stuck. And that's why I started working on my chakras, because I had come across self-love as a feeling rather than a concept. And that's when I started doing a lot of that energy work towards the heart, and realizing that I think it was something you said about anemia being attached to a scarcity mindset with money, and that's all relating to the heart and the blood. And I thought, oh, hold on, this is a lot deeper on a metaphysical level than I had even considered. I hadn't even thought of that. And so that's when I had this inner knowing that you could help me with this.
Sometimes there's like a philosophical problem that we're dealing with in life where we know something should be different, but it isn't. What did you want to be feeling? Like what did you want the world to be offering you?
I wanted to feel that abundance. You know, we hear that with the law of attraction and everything, you know, it's sort of like, and because I knew abundance wasn't just about the money, because everybody says it's not just about the money. You know, we know money is energy and it's just paper and metal coins. It's not real. It's what we put the value on it. But it was that abundant feeling, and I had done quite a few abundance meditations. I knew in my head that that abundance existed. You look at a tree, you can see the abundance of leaves on the tree, but I didn't feel abundant, and money wasn't coming in. I felt like I was always trying to scrape by with everything. It just felt lonely and scarce and lacking. I knew it was there. It just felt out of reach.
It is important to learn the middle path when it comes to what we charge the world and you know what we're giving to the world and what we're receiving. We want them to be in synchronous flow with each other. We want to give out what we know we can give out based on our experience and our knowledge, and we want to receive back compensation that is feeling very fair for what we're doing. Now, that is an art, not a science. It's something that takes time to work out, but it is something I'm doing in my business. It's something that Crystal is learning about in her business that she talked about, and we'll look at her situation a little bit more, and then we'll come back again.
And what was the big breakthrough that shifted things for you? So you started doing the meditations maybe a couple times a week or something at first back then?
Yeah, I think the first round I did it about a couple of times a week, and then the second round I thought, right, okay, I'm gonna do it every day this time after. And seriously, since then, it's been my only consistent meditation practice.
But taking you back even to last fall, you had a big breakthrough around your connection with your mom and how it was stored in your heart, and that came out through the meditation. Can you just share that real briefly?
The forgiveness of myself in that whole situation, realizing that my mother and I, the connection, it's always been steeped in pain on this physical level, but once I learned how to forgive myself, and that only became apparent during the meditation, when I really learned how to forgive myself and open up my heart, it just softened, and it even softened our relationship. And I was able to tell her, thank you for giving birth to me. And we had a moment which was unlike any we've had in my entire 53 years. So, yeah.
Wow, that's saying a lot. What do you see for yourself going forward now?
I have no idea, but I do know that, you know, infinite possibilities. Who knows? But I'm happy to allow it to happen now.
It's beautiful. And you're focused on helping people, helping women develop this loving relationship with themselves.
Because also the more I loved on myself, the more intuitive I became, the easier life is. And I thought, well, hold on, if I could do that, then I know I can teach other people to do it, especially as I used to hate myself for so long. So that's what I do now. I help other women who, you know, there's a lot of us women on this earth right now who are here to help heal the planet. And so I've made it my mission to help those women get out there in a bigger way by loving themselves more.
Is that we had to clear out the shame, the guilt, the regret of the past, clear out the heart chakra to be able to be finding this middle path with money. being able to shift our awareness so that our intentions are all about how can I bring more love and light into the world and keep doing it because I'm being paid so well for it. Now, this is a stark contrast, right, to I think what I were both experiencing in the past. And what we notice is that as we step into, clearing things out, we can see who we really are and what we're here to do. And the meaning of that comes from such a deep place inside of us, very loving, safe space that literally radiates out from us when we're speaking with new clients. They really get what we're all about. And when we tell them what we're going to charge for our services, they get it too. This is a beautiful action that when we capture and feel into it, it's like a life-changing thing. The way that I was able to make this shift is in my own life and helping my clients is by creating a system that I call Infinite Abundance. And it is all around mindfulness practice that I use every single day. It's like an exercise plan that walks you through taking an emotional car wash every single morning. I taught myself how to do this, and then I started teaching others. It started taking off, and that's why I'm talking about it now. By combining all that I know about money and working with money in the financial business for over 25 years, and then also being a mindfulness teacher for over 14 years, I brought these two worlds together to discover that we can develop this very loving relationship with money, but it takes some work to get there. Quite frankly, you gotta really want this to be able to make the shift that I think you're ready to make if you're listening to this video. So the way it works is Infinite Abundance is all about getting you into a routine, into a new practice. I send you daily emails for 1 month. Inside of these emails is the exact process that you'll use for about 15 minutes a day that guides you through how to meditate and clear out this garbage that's in the heart and teaches you a way to improve your relationship with money. It teaches you how to look differently at the world so that you're coming at it from a place of service and love rather than what am I going to get out of this, and that kind of righteousness that we can step into sometimes. So if you've ever struggled with meditation, the cool thing here is that you'll be learning how to do it not alone, but with me guiding you gently through the process. I'll be here right alongside of you, helping you track your progress, make sure that you're doing things the way that you are feeling a difference. You also get to join a growing community of like-minded abundalinis who are here to help you. We do this in a secret group on Facebook, and it's set up for those of us who are wanting to make these big shifts in our lives and in our business. We share our stories, our struggles, and our breakthroughs with each other. It's very supportive. You can also do the process over and over again. Some people like to do it 2 or 3 times where they get those emails again and again so they can develop the repetition and the memorization so they can do it even without my assistance at some point. So now's your chance. You can join us in Infinite Abundance, receiving it. I originally sold the program for $97, but I decided to lower it to $28. So there were no barriers to entering the program. I also offer a money-back guarantee, and I'm happy to answer questions along the way so that you're getting the most out of it. And who knows, imagine what your life could look like if 1 month from now, instead of feeling stress and worry about money, you're feeling peace and love and hope for the future. Instead of feeling isolated, you're part of a loving community of like-minded people from around the world. And instead of feeling fear, you're feeling love for money, and you're realizing just how big of a deal this is in the grand scheme of your life. I welcome you to this transformation, and I can't wait to see you on the other side. All you have to do is go to infiniteabundance.life to get started right away. You'll get access to the Education Center, where you'll find 3 educational sessions that explain the practices in more detail. There's more than 30 meditations that help you learn the process. You'll get the daily emails, the Infinite Abundance Journal, and more than 17 hours of coaching videos that can help solidify this practice for you. So, and then you also get to join that Facebook group. So don't delay. Join us now. Namaste.